All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the truth hour with General Sarah Soon said he kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to not only the Sarah Soon Seti YouTube page, but the General Seti YouTube page, two dynamic powerhouse institutions on YouTube, giving you nothing but black power, black divinity. I want you to subscribe immediately. Do not hesitate. I want you to become a member. The link for memberships is right in the chat. All you had to do is just click it. You get a video introduction, rundown on the memberships, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarah Soon Seti General Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got a new website on Teachable, uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse programs, certificate courses. The first one up, 25 Steps to the Redemption of Definitive Black Manhood, designed by yours truly, the General. Nothing like it. I want you brothers to get over there, check out the curriculum, check out the course, become a brother. It also comes included the Brotherhood of Heru round table live stream once a week where the brothers sit down, discuss very powerful, important information pertinent to their growth and development. Get over there, family. Become a brother. Check out that curriculum today. Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarah Soon Seti DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. Got something for your family. Know you're going to like it and love it. Get that discount, shop and save. Save and shop. Pull the fire alarm, GeneralSeti.com, Seti University, over 2,500 videos, 40 different subjects, all the classics, stacked on stacks. Nothing but classic information, family. Nothing like it on the planet. Old Mecca, ancient Egypt, ancient India. We talking about blueprint for global African supremacy, black power, education, economics. Black woman is God, making of the white man, all the religions exposed, Illuminati, occult. Man, it's fire everywhere you turn. There's nothing like it nowhere on the planet. Become a member today. And everybody knows Seti popping on Patreon. We got the fire. Yes, indeed. We got more fire than any other Patreon page out there. That's right. We got the sacred zoo types of the ancient Egyptians and the Neteru land, the holy of holies, the holy land to the ancient Egyptians, the home of the gods and goddesses. I want you to get over there and get that work, family. Believe it. And also we got that, let's get it up there, family. Let's get it up there. I want you to know this now. Where's the ancient Egyptian heaven? Where the ancient Egyptian had already figured out the center of the galaxy thousands and thousands of years before telescopes. I want you to get that work, family. They already letting us know we descended from the cosmos, the black hole. You better wake up. You better wake up. To all the family out there that donated to the General, I thank you. I appreciate you. For those who would like to donate, the link is right there on the screen in the chat. Click it. Donate. I thank you very much. Thank you again. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarah Soon Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will ban your ass. This motherfucker Donald Trump has got to be the most, he's one of the most grumpy old men. You understand what I'm saying? He's just one of the most grumpy old motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? You know, ain't no kindness in his heart. You know, he just what he is. You can't expect him to be what he ain't. You can't expect him to be what he ain't. So you just have to accept him for what he is. He had, early in the presidency, him and Pope Francis had words and shit, about this wall and shit, and about the sexual orientation. Donald Trump was putting the fire to the illegal immigrants and so on and so forth. A lot of people agree with that, but him and the Pope Francis didn't see eye to eye, so they had some words, and so it was some shit said back and forth. Donald Trump said some slick shit, and and so nah, he shows up to the funeral. We got some video, short video to give you the rundown on this motherfucker, but as you can see, you supposed to show up in a dark suit, black suit, really. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to show up in a black suit, most definitely a dark suit. But this motherfucker showed up navy blue. He just, and you supposed to have a certain type of, pin on your coat if you're gonna wear one. This motherfucker show up with the American flag, and so yeah, he just showed up to the Pope's funeral disgruntled in a motherfucker. He show up like, this motherfucker like Oscar the Grouch now. You know what I'm saying? He, Oscar, Donald, Donald. They're gonna have to rename that motherfucker Donald. They're gonna have a Muppet of Donald come up out the garbage can. Yeah, because he's Donald the Grouch and shit. You know what I'm saying? But we got the video, family. We got the video, and I'm gonna tell you all the crazy shit that he just, the motherfucker didn't follow no protocol. He didn't follow no protocol at all. Where that? This it. Yeah, here you go.
Controversy by wearing a blue suit instead of the traditional black attire during Pope Francis' funeral in Rome, drawing accusations of disregarding Vatican protocols.
So a lot of people saying that he did it on purpose. Motherfucker just showed up on purpose just because his wife got on black. You feel what I'm saying? His wife got on black, so they know the motherfucking protocol. She followed protocol, and he just, he gonna be an asshole, and he just gonna show up, just to let a motherfucker know, fuck you, even on your way out, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? That's how he is. He riding out, you know what I'm saying? And the crazy shit about it, yeah, they already knew because they put his ass in the third row. You know what I'm saying? I guess he thought he was gonna go to the first row where the funeral was, and they had his ass in the they put his ass in the third row for the, because you didn't had a disagreement. You didn't have some little slick words for the Pope, and so they put his ass. So he already knew what it was. He probably knew where the fuck he was sitting at anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he thought he was going to sit in the front row or not. I don't know, but I don't know if he knew ahead of time and shit, for him not to have shown up, that would have been most definitely, Donald Trump, it's certain people you can fuck with, but it's certain people that, can cause you some serious problems. You know what I'm saying? And so I know fucking, trying to cross that Pope is not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're willing to ride all the way out. Now, if you're willing to ride all the way, and I'm saying that, in respects, if you're gonna deal with him, deal with him. But if you think you're gonna go tit for tat, and it just ain't even worth it. It ain't even worth it, because that could cause you a whole lot of unnecessary problems. It cause you all kind of unnecessary problems. But when you got these leaders out here, they don't got no goddamn respect for nobody other than they self. And that's really where it's at today. That's where it's at today. Every leader is out for themselves. They don't really respect the next leader. And so, and that includes the Pope. But I tell you what, it's 1 billion of them on the planet, and they spread out all over, and they got military, institutions within the Catholic Church, and they masters of getting in, and they already there. You know what I'm saying? They already there. They right where they need to be. And so that just let it be known. They have been accused of knocking down Abraham. Yeah, they, they even JFK. You know what I'm saying? Even him. And so, it was rumors, that they, that hand of the papacy and shit, then reached and knocked down some presidents. That's what they say. That's what they say. You can read it. Thomas Jefferson and all them, they was talking about them Jesuits, man. They was talking about them Jesuits and shit and how they was trying to undermine a lot of them so-called white founding fathers of the oppressive and slave-ridden nation of America. You see, they wrote on these Jesuits and how they would knocking motherfuckers off, you know what I'm saying, causing all type of turmoil within the governing bodies and shit, because they know how to become whatever them Jesuits see. When they take their oath, they that for life. They don't have no family, they don't have no wife, they so whatever they do, they could be put in a position to be a mole in any organization for life. And it'll look like but all the time, the hand of the black pope, the hand of the white pope is working within that institution, even if you don't see it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm quite sure that they got hands, especially when if you could get a motherfucker like Head Seth, a silly drunk, to be the goddamn, if you could get him into, that the Jesuits is running rampant through, that ain't nothing. If you could let him get in, ain't no telling who is in the administration in the United States, man. But anyway, let's finish listening to this, and we'll talk about some other shit that he did. But number one, he was clearly out of code by putting on the blue. You're being totally disrespectful. I don't have no, it's not my problem. I'm just saying it is what it is. And it's probably going to be some backlash about that. You know what I'm saying? It's probably going to be some backlash behind that. So, he just got wars every goddamn where. He running back on the China shit. He running back. He don't want that. He don't want that beef no more. So he put them goddamn tariffs on China, but now he want to walk him back. Obviously, he's losing that war. And so that's going to make him look real weak. You know what I'm saying? Doing that. That's going to make him look real weak. If he didn't have the ability to win it, if he didn't have 100% confidence that he was going to win that, he should not have even engaged in that, because you put a heavy hand down and then you didn't get nothing out of it, and now you want the Chinese to walk it back. That make you look weak. You know what I'm saying? That make you look real weak. So let's finish watching this.
While most world leaders, including Ukraine's Volodymyr Zelensky and France's Emmanuel Macron, adhered to the somber dress code, Trump stood out with his light blue tie and American flag lapel pin. His wife, Melania Trump, followed guidelines in a black dress and mantilla veil. The Vatican's protocol for papal funerals mandates a dark suit, black tie, and black lapel pin for men, with strict adherence to modesty and tradition.
So
critics online condemned.
You supposed to have a black lapel pin too. If you put a lapel pin up there, this motherfucker show up with the American flag. So you just being totally an asshole. You see, and so yeah, he turning in, like I say, he turning into the grumpy old man, and he ain't gonna get shit with that. He ain't gonna get shit. I thought, by him focusing on the border and doing some things of that nature and shit, but he's losing support. He's losing support. He's losing support because he came in disgruntled, and he's not, thinking with a head of intelligence. He's thinking, vindictively about what happened to him in previous administrations. And so, he got a vindictive nature, and it's clouded his ability, to make good decisions at this point. He started off, but he want to be a dictator, and he want to be disrespectful to people that could strike him. And so I believe that, his disrespect to the Catholics. Now, they was in our slavery, so this is not, but they're, you got to respect your foe and your foe's ability to strike you. You see what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck. If you want to cross that line, that's on you. But be ready, you know what I'm saying, to engage in combat. Don't go lightly and shit. Don't cross the line lightly, and then you're not ready for the strike, and the motherfucker strike you and you fall dead because you playing games. And so if you go to war, go to war. Be ready to engage and be ready to, go strike for strike. And he ain't ready for that. So he didn't went out there disgruntled, and he didn't disrespected the Pope. And he you know what? They gonna make him pay for that. They gonna make him pay for that. And the motherfucking Catholics that's in his administration, the one that's head of is it Homeland Security? Yeah, I believe it's Homeland. He's a goddamn Catholic, and he disrespected the Pope. They're gonna make his ass pay. They're gonna make him pay. I guarantee you, he gonna regret that he said that shit the way that he said it. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be a Catholic motherfucker, and you go talk to your head, the head of the church, told him to go sit his old ass down and worry about fixing the church, and we'll worry about fixing the border. That's what he said. You should have found another way to say that, because they're gonna nail your ass to a cross. You feel me, for coming out like that. But anyway, let's finish watching that. So not only, and I'm gonna talk about what else that he did.
Trump's choice as disrespectful, contrasting it with Prince William's dark suit and Joe Biden's more subdued blue tie. Despite the backlash, Trump and Melania were seen paying respects at the coffin, underscoring the diplomatic significance of the event.
Yeah. And so even, and so they tell you, what to do when you come to the funeral. You see what I'm saying? They tell you how to approach. And so when they came in, and, where they had the casket for the Pope, they got this rug out there, and the Pope casket is on the rug. And they tell everybody that when you come up, do not step on the rug. You see what I'm saying? Do not step up on the rug. So, this is, you talking about, they as far as European society, and not just European, because we can't give them all the credit for a lot of what's in the Catholic Church, because a lot of it, Africans is at the beginning of it. You know what I'm saying? Establishing, a lot of the early church was in foundations was in Egypt. You see the Coptic, and and we're not talking about the ones that's over there today. And so a lot of the traditions come straight out of ancient Egypt. So a lot of it ain't got even nothing to do with the European. You know what I'm saying? So but they're steeped in traditions that is far older than anything that the Cro-Magnon Neanderthal has, as far as equivalency, as far as being ancient. So there's a lot of ritualism in there. And so when they tell you, don't step on the motherfucking rug, that's exactly, you don't see nobody else step on the rug. Here come Donald Trump. You understand what I'm saying? And his wife that looked like a man, she looked like a man too. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, she looked like a man. And so two Donald Trumps come up there, and both of them step on the damn rug. And so, once you've been told and nobody else do it, then it's like they just come in like, fuck it, being disrespectful. You know, they gonna be cowboys, and they just so he not so. And then they in there, you know, supposedly having a fucking a meeting with Zelensky inside the church and shit, and so on and so forth. Man, this motherfucker right here, Donald Trump, is crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's crazy, and he's in trouble because Putin is not buying none of that shit that Donald Trump is talking about. He's steady bombing Ukraine, and that's why the man didn't fuck with him the last time he was in the White House, because he knew it wasn't nothing that he could fucking do with Vladimir Putin. So all that shit that J.D. Vance and all, bitch, shut up. You don't know what the fuck you... Putin is punking J.D. Vance, Mark Rubio, Donald Trump, what the motherfucker Pete Hegseth, whatever the fuck his name, Hegseth, all of them. Donald Trump, Putin is punking all they at. You see what I'm saying? You know how they do the goddamn Three Stooges slap, where the motherfucker come down and slap all three of them at one time. That's how Putin doing their ass. So yeah, he Donald Trump, you in trouble. You better get your shit together, because you looking real erratic and you looking real weak at this point. Get the motherfucker head self out of there. Quit letting Putin punk you. All that shit about you know, you gonna get it, work a deal. You're not gonna work a deal, because he not gonna let you get what you think you want out of that deal. He not gonna he want the rare minerals, he want the land, he want everything. He want Ukraine for himself. He not gonna let you work no deal where you get no rare minerals and all. He not gonna do it. He gonna keep that shit for himself. So you might as well give up thinking you gonna work a deal with him on that level, because he said fuck the deal. He want it all. He don't want to share nothing with you. He don't want to share shit with you. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, family, he was just as disrespectful as he wanted to be, but that's Donald Trump, and we just gonna see it's gonna be a backlash for that, and so he might as well just wait on it. This is General Sabra Sunsetti. I thank you for being here, family. We got some more. I want you to come on back. We're going to get started in just a second. Arm yourself with knowledge. I want you to hit that subscribe button. If you have not subscribed, you should subscribe. You see? Yeah, you should subscribe immediately. Get a video or a thumbs up right now so we could get this out here to the people and get the page out there to the people. Hit the subscribe button. I got some links over there in the chat. Support the general. We doing hard work over here for our people. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black Pop.